Hi guys, and welcome to workout number 1 of Physical Education Summer 2020. Throughout the course of the summer, you will be watching these videos and performing a workout each day that it is assigned. Today's first video is just going to be an introductory video going over dynamic and static stretching and the proper cues and movement of how to perform a proper squat, push-up, and sit-up. Throughout each video, they're going to be about 20 minutes long, and you want to make sure that you are following along, doing the exact movements that I am. Okay, so starting with dynamic stretching. This is a full range movement, and you want to make sure it is active. Okay, so we want to get blood flow circulating throughout the body, making sure that we're ready for our workout before we get fully into it. You don't want to just work out straight cold from sitting down for quite a while. You want to warm up. Okay, so I also want to keep track of our time here together. So if I occasionally look at my watch, don't worry about that. I just want to make sure I run on time for you. So starting off with dynamic stretching, we're going to do something called arm circles. Okay, I want everyone to do about 10, roughly start in a medium size to small, and then slowly work your way bigger. We're doing backwards arm circles right now. Good. Okay, then we're going to switch to forward. Again, starting medium to small, and then slowly working our way into a full movement. Good. Excellent. All right, now we're just going to cross our arms over and back and front. So during each video, you will be responsible for completing your dynamic stretching on your own while I am going over the movement for that day's workout. So in the next video, workout number 2, I'm going to be explaining the workout, and that is when I want you to complete your dynamic stretching. Okay? Now we're going to move to some kind of high knees. Remember, dynamic stretching is meant to warm you up. This is an active stretch, so you should be moving through a range of motion. Okay? We're going to do some high knees here. Just nice and easy walking, warming up the legs. Good. A lot of our movements that we will be doing, we're going to come down to a squat hold. So just come down and push on the insides of your legs here. A lot of the movements that we will be performing are going to be full body workouts. So typically when you're warming up, you want to be able to warm up the part of the body that you're going to be utilizing the most. In this case, a lot of our workouts are going to be full body ranges of motion, and so we want to make sure we warm up both upper and lower body. Okay, those are some nice squat holds. Now we're going to do some standing butt kickers. And you don't need very much space to complete each workout. All you need is enough space, again, to kind of kick your legs up, lay flat on the ground, anything like that. Okay, so that is kind of an intro to dynamic stretching. You can look different dynamic stretches up online if you wish to, but again, it's not meant to be overthought. It is just meant to make sure that you're ready. Also, throughout these workouts, we may get a special guest. This is Luna. Luna is my dog. She always loves to be a part of my workout video. So if you see her pop in and out, that's who she is. Okay. Now, when it comes to static stretching, this will be something that you will perform at the end of each workout that you will do on your own. Okay. We do not have enough time in our workout sessions to perform dynamic workout and static stretching. The static means you are holding a movement for a set amount of time, usually about 45 seconds to 2 minutes. So for example, static stretching would be to reach down for your toes. So I'm going to be holding a pose or a movement for a set amount of time, allowing my muscles to elongate as I'm holding a position. So you can go straight leg down, wide stance, leaning to one side. This is going to target your inner thigh. Okay, you can also pair it with a stretch across for the shoulder and the triceps here. So again, static stretching is going to be anything that you are doing where you're holding the movement. Dynamic, think of active. Static, think of as holding still. All right, now jumping into the cues and what you need to know in order to perform a, I would say perfect, but the best of your ability to perform a squat, push-up, and sit-up. We're going to start first with the squat. And again, as a reminder, I need you to follow along with me as I perform these. If long, make sure you listen. Now, when it comes to a squat, the best way that I always teach how to squat is usually to stand in the middle of a door frame. So I would stand with each leg on each side. But this is kind of, or a post, anything that you can. If not, I just want you to visualize that. But I visualize standing with a pole, a post, or a door frame right in the middle of your body. All right. From there, we want to talk about our stance. Our feet are going to be roughly about shoulder width apart. We do not want to be any wider for right now, and we don't want to be any more narrow. For a conventional squat, to protect our knees, we want to make sure that our feet are shoulder width apart. Now, from here, I want you to visualize, I'm going to turn sideways for you, that pole, that post, or that door frame being right in front of you, because our next cue is making sure that we're keeping your chest up as best as possible. So as soon as we begin the movement, we're going to push our hips back. We're going to keep our chest up. We're going to bend the knees, and we're going to move down. So I want you to squat down and back up. See how I'm keeping my head, neck, and spine in alignment. I'm not looking down. I'm not looking up. I'm looking straight forward, keeping my chest up, pushing my hips back, and coming up and down. Again, visualizing. We don't want to lean forward as we squat, and definitely not lean back. That typically doesn't happen. People tend to lean forward. So I want you to do 5 just with those cues. Pushing the hips back, keeping the chest up, feet shoulder width apart. As you see, my arms come up and forward. This is just a preference. You don't have to. It helps me with balance. All right, we're going to do one more together. Very good. All right. Another cue I want you to think about while you are squatting is your weight distribution. I want your weight to go through your heels, and this will help to keep your body as straight up as possible. You will lean forward a little bit. That's very normal. And depending on how tight your hamstrings may be, you may lean a little bit more. But your goal is to try to just keep your chest up as straight as possible. Now, you have probably always heard, make sure your knees never come over your toes through a squat. This is not 100% true. Yes, you do want to keep your knees behind your toes through almost the full range of motion. So I'll give you an example here. Watch the first one, and then I want you to follow along. So through the squats that we just did, I came here. I'm keeping my knees behind my toes, but as soon as I drop below parallel, it is perfectly okay for your knees to then come over your toes, okay? Based on the human anatomy, where your pelvis is, and the way that your body lands when you sit down, and weight distribution, your knees will come a little bit forward to create balance. That is when it is okay for your knees to come over your toes. We won't typically be squatting below parallel, but this is just another educational piece for you to keep in mind that, yes, through a squat from straight to 90 degrees, you want to keep those knees behind your toes. You drop below parallel, that is when it is okay and acceptable for your knees to come slightly in front of your toes. All right, so what we're going to do 10 squats right here. I'm going to do 5 facing you straight on, 5 to the side so that you can see. All right, ready, and begin. Good. 1, 2, 3. Good. Think about keeping your chest up. 5. Good. Keep going. Get the weight through the heels. 2 more. 1 more. Good. All right. So yesterday, all of you completed your fitness testing. Now, you should have done this to the best of your ability, and then from now on, throughout all the workouts, and when you do your post-assessment, make sure that you are keeping all of these cues in mind. All right, moving on now to push-ups. Push-ups can be a little bit tricky. There's a lot more to think about involved, especially to keep your head, neck, and spine in alignment to protect yourself. So when it comes to push-ups, I'm going to show you regular and then a modified. First, when you come into a push-up, I want everybody down on the ground and following along with me. You want to place your hands to line up underneath your shoulder. You don't want to be extended out in front, too far behind, but roughly right underneath your shoulder. If you're a little bit wide, that's okay. Everybody's shoulder is going to be a little bit different in width, but do your best to find that comfortable range right underneath your shoulders. From here, you're going to want to extend your legs out and keep your body as flat as possible. You don't want to be extended up or extended down, okay? When it comes to your head, you want to make sure that you are looking not tucked down. Don't want to tuck your chin. You want to keep that nice neutral position. So we're not lifting up and we're not tucking our chin. So again, from here, holding in a nice neutral position. Again, I'm not tucking or lifting my head. Keeping my eyes on the ground and my body here is nice and level. Now, when you go through the motion, almost any exercise you do, you want to make sure you keep your core tight. So this is a mental part of working out. You want to make sure that you're squeezing your abdominals, and that will help to protect your spine and to keep you in alignment so you're not tilting one way or the other. Okay? So coming down for our push-ups, I'm going to do one to demonstrate so you can watch or follow along, and then we're all going to do some together. Okay? So we're up here. I'm set. I'm coming down and back up. Okay? Like you saw, nice smooth movement. We're not jerking the body up and down as fast as we can. Nice and controlled. Now, modification. We're going to keep the same movement, but I'm going to drop down to my knees, and I'm also going to drop my hips. Okay? So I'm not going to stay here and almost a square or four sides or three sides of a square. I want to drop my hips. That keeps my spine in alignment, and it keeps my core nice and tight. So from here, I would do the same thing, just pushing up and down. Okay? All right. Whew. Even for me, I start losing my breath. So we are going to do 5 push-ups, take a little bit of rest, and then do 5 more. You can either do regular or modified. Try to go down to a 90-degree angle. That's what I will be doing when you come up and down. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. Let's go ahead and rest here. Now, you will see that I am doing push-ups that are closer in. This is going to target triceps a little bit more, shoulders, and chest, right? You will also see push-ups that are done wider. This is going to hit more of your pectoral major and minor. So making sure that you're staying out nice and wide here, okay? Where I want you to stick with in nice and close. These may be a little bit harder, but it's going to help you gain overall strength as we go through these workouts, okay? So if you need to go a little bit wider out to start, making sure that you're still coming down to a 90-degree angle and then back up, okay? So let's drop down and let's do 5 more. Take a rest and then we'll do 5 more. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Take a rest. Take your arms out a little bit. Catch your breath. And let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Whew. I'm going to stand up for a minute, shake everything out. You're starting to lose your breath a little bit. That's okay. I probably am a little bit more because I'm doing a lot of talking at the same time. All right. Last thing we're going to go through for today are sit-ups. All right. There will be different forms of abdominal movements we will do throughout our workout, but a sit-up is going to be the most common one that you will see. So we're all going to move back down to the mat right now. And we are going to start just kind of a rested upright position. Again, we're always wanting to protect our head, neck, and spine for alignment so that we're not arching too much one way or the other. So, starting for the sit-up, we want, make sure I don't hit anything, we want to start with our feet on the ground. The further out, more difficult it will be because you're going to be less stable. Cool stern is going to provide more stability. So we will lay down on the ground. Make sure that you are, again, trying to keep your head, neck, and spine in alignment. You don't want to round yourself out too much. Coming here, again, looking at my neck. We want to try to keep ourselves up. You can notice the difference in the way I speak. So here, I'm kind of crushing my vocal cords. Here, I'm keeping my head up and allowing myself to breathe a lot easier and talk easier too. So, for the sit-up, feet about hip width apart. Now the hands. We don't always want to use our hands for momentum. As you're going through some of the workouts, you may need to. But with our hands, thinking about either sliding them on the ground as you come up, or you can place them out in front as you're moving. Now, as you're squeezing and coming up, you will round a little bit, and that is okay. But I want you to think about squeezing your abdominals together, exhaling on the way up, and inhale on the way down. Good. So right now we're going to do 5 together. Again, either hands on the ground or up in front. Ready? Begin. 1. I'm Luna. She's going to help me do my sit-ups. And 5. Very good. Out of those 3 movements, sit-ups are definitely my most favorite of them all, but I'll let you decide which one's for you. All right? So, coming through next, we're going to do 10 sit-ups now. Starting from the down position and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Now, you may have noticed that when I've come up and down, I've kind of shifted my weight back on my heels, but I have not lifted my feet completely off the ground. All right, so we have gone through dynamic and static stretching, the difference between those. Dynamic meaning active, static meaning still. We've gone through our squats, making sure that our chest is up, hips are back, feet are shoulder width apart, weight is through our heels. Coming through here. Okay. Then we've gone through our push-ups, making sure our head, neck, and spine are in alignment, keeping from our head to our toes as flat and as straight as possible, or from our head to our knees. If a modified version, keeping the elbows in, pushing up and down, hands are underneath the shoulders, coming down to a 90-degree, and then back up. Last movement we covered was the sit-up. Again, feet about hip width apart, starting in the laying down position, squeezing the abdominals, again, keeping head, neck, and spine in alignment, curling up, a slight curve is absolutely okay, and then coming back down. All right? So, that is everything we covered in this first video. The other videos, workout number 2, Again, I will be going over the workout that we will be doing. That is when you need to complete the dynamic stretching on your own. We'll do the workout together, and then after the workout video, you will need to complete the static stretching on your own. I'm looking so forward to working out with each and every one of you this summer. Make sure you always have your water on hand. If you are listening to music, please make sure that you are muted on your computer so that we do not hear you. I will be playing music in other workout videos if you wish to listen, but that is okay if you don't want to. But do make sure that you listen for the cues in the beginning and any instruction that I give you. Once the workout starts, you're free to follow along and listen to your own music. All right, guys, I'll see you later for workout 2.